It's the
Nick.
Knicks playoff day. This
Go
is when
Cavs.
we pull out those brooms, even though it's not a sweep, and we take those Cavs and spin them out in the street, step on them.
Let me get your opinion on this, because obviously being a Philly sports fan and being rivals with the New York fans, I'm gonna think negatively about it, but I wanted to get your opinion on it. Do you think
Yes.
it's ridiculous that after each win, fans are just like parading through 7th Avenue like they won the championship?
No. This is the first.
I've never seen anything like this before, ever.
Me either. But
I
it's the
think it's
first series that we've
ridiculous.
led since the 2012-2013 playoffs, and we're starving. I'm hungry.
Listen, I get what it's like. I've suffered through years of misery with the Sixers when we tied for the worst record in NBA history, and it's painful. And once look at how good the Sixers are doing now, so I get it. It's a great feeling to finally be rooting for a winning team again. But I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just because it's New York, but I feel like Knicks fans are taking it a little too far.
No, there's no too far. MSG was rocking. That was
I'm not talking about MSG though. I'm talking about the fact that they're parading through the
I know.
street.
It was after the win. I witnessed some of it while I was trying to get out of there. But
Oh, you went to a game?
I went to Sunday's game. The
Nice.
matinee. It was so sick. It was such a good game. Yeah, but look, the Knicks fans, like I said, have been starving for victory. Like New York sports fans in general, besides from the Yankees, have been waiting for a team to finally step up. And now it's the opposite. The Yankees are sucking right now, and every other New York team, / if you count New Jersey for the Devils, has been incredible.
Devils are 2-2 right now.
Yeah, against the Rangers, who have also played really well this year. And then the Giants, the Jets just got Aaron Rodgers. Like the New York's on the come up.
This has probably been the first year in a very long time where the playoffs is very wide open, and I think it's it's pretty crazy because you don't know like who's going to win it. I picked Golden State at the beginning of the year, and I'm sticking to that, and that's been a really momentum shifter in that series. But it's just kind of crazy. Like it's very, very possible that the Heat wrap the series up with the Bucks, the Hawks, which I doubt this will happen, but somehow find a way to win two more games, and then the Sixers would stomp all over the Hawks most likely, and then Knicks probably fare better against the Heat than they do against the Bucks. So if they took care of the Heat and it was Sixers Knicks, like nobody would have predicted that ever.
I'll tell you very plainly what I think is probably going to happen. If I still think the Bucks are going to win, actually.
I could see it too.
I still think they're going to win. The Bucks are such a better team. Like Jimmy caught heat and he played amazing. Like that game was so exciting to watch. But
Giannis
they
still
can't keep this up,
100%
and Giannis is
either.
hurt.
Yeah.
The second he's feeling any better, they're done. Like I'm sorry, I still think the Bucks are going to win. If the Heat win this, I think the Knicks are going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. Like maybe that's a little overly optimistic, but I see a path that I have never seen, a actual path to the finals, because I think the two teams the Knicks cannot beat in a series are the Sixers, because we don't really match up well. And I also think that we don't match up well with the Bucks at all. I don't know. In fairness, not many teams do. Giannis is a freak. But I think that if either of those happen, if the Celtics beat the Sixers, and that'll pretty much be dependent on Joel, and if he's a little bit healthier, this is really helping him. The fact that he'll get 2 more days because of the Hawks winning last night. I think if we get the Celtics, we can put up a fight. I think the only two teams we'd definitely lose is Sixers and the Bucks. But I'll take the Heat all day long.
Well, I know you don't want to hear this, but you still got to take care of the Cavs, and the Cavs have looked absolutely horrible. But I still think they're going to win tonight. But it's going to be very hard to win in the Garden for Game 6.
Yeah, I mean, speaking objectively, and I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. I'm not. The Knicks do have the Cavs are not an easy matchup. And people also keep saying Like, I genuinely think that the national media, I've said this before, is like out to get the Knicks, doesn't believe in the Knicks for whatever reason. When it's like, it's not just that the Cavs are playing badly, it's that the Knicks defense has been unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
We have held the Cavs to under 100 points in every single game, I think, except for that one that they blew us out. And every other game it's been, and like, this is without Quickly doing anything. This is with Grimes being hurt. And I just think that they're not getting enough credit. Like, I am the first to criticize Tom Thibodeau. Him pulling Julius Randle at the end of that last game is what won them the game.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say the same thing.
Julius Randle was horrible. Horrible defensively, horrible offensively. And obviously he might be still like, it still might be with the ankle injury, but like, his defensive effort was pathetic. And then they bring Obi Toppin in. 7 less minutes, 6 more rebounds. Like,
it's funny. The other day, somebody asked me who I think the best player is on the Knicks, and I think like
I don't even think it's a question who it is.
Well, this is what I said. The expected answer is Julius Randle, but right now the right answer is Jalen Brunson.
The right answer is Jalen Brunson, the real most improved player.
I don't think things are going to pan out with Julius Randle. I am still not convinced that RJ Barrett's going to help you guys win.
He has the last 2 games. I am a big.
I'm talking long term though.
Long term, we'll see. He's really young. I mean, he's played very inefficiently. Like, the first 2 games, he was really, really bad, and to the point where I'm like yelling, like, get him off the court. So yeah. I'm a very big RJ criticizer, but it's like what he heard. I actually read something that, like, he just got back together with his girlfriend, and finally that's what's really put him over the edge. He's finally driving to the basket. Like, that's what he should be doing.
Absolutely.
Taking 3-point shots. He shot 23%, like, towards the end of the year. Like, just don't.
Your 2 best players were the Knicks' best offseason acquisitions.
Yeah,
in the Villanova Wildcats. Yeah.
Yeah, Josh Hart has.
Forgot he was.
I don't think we get near this far without him.
No way.
He's been locking up Donovan Mitchell, and like, Donovan Mitchell is a superstar, and it's really a matter of time until he breaks out. I think he'll do that this game, to be honest. Like, I agree with you. I do think that they'll win this game, but I'm hoping we can close out. And then I think if we go to the Garden, I think we'll win.
I agree. We could talk about like the accolades that were given out. Obviously, pretty impressive seeing Mike Brown become the first unanimous coach to win the Coach of the Year award. Definitely deserved it. I saw Lauri Markkanen winning Most Improved. That's for sure.
Nope, Jalen Brunson.
Didn't necessarily, even though he deserves it, I didn't necessarily see Malcolm Brogdon winning Sixth Man of the Year. I'm not sure who the other
candidates. It was him, Quickly, and Bobby Portis.
Yeah,
it's not, in my opinion, and I know he's had a rough stretch in the playoffs. It was so obviously Quickly. Like, the argument that was made against him was that he started some games, but like, every 6-man starts games.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Jaren Jackson winning Defensive Player of the Year was a no-brainer.
That makes a lot of sense. I thought, honestly, and maybe it's just because I'm now watching him up close, I think he'll get there. Evan Mobley is not a Defensive Player of the Year yet. I don't even think he should have been in the top 3.
I agree.
He's too little. Like he's too little. Eventually he'll get there. He's definitely going to be a really fucking good player. When he eventually starts shooting the ball, he'll be really good.
I think they want him to be sort of like DeAndre Ayton-esque, and he's just like not quite that type of player yet.
He's too timid to shoot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think the Knicks are really that like worried about him shooting it.
He needs to be more like Mitchell Robinson. You know, an all-around stud.
Mitchell Robinson is an offensive weapon.
He's garbage.
He had 2 made free throws in a row. He's a weapon.
So is that all the awards? There's only 5 awards, and then MVP is the only one that hasn't been announced yet.
So MVP hasn't been announced, and then I think that's it. Mike Brown. I mean, what he has done, it's kind of wild because that team, in theory, should have been that good the whole time. Like
Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox was always that good, and it's crazy that it took this long. But they couldn't even do it with like Tyrese Halliburton, who was also a stud.
Yeah.
But what they needed was Domantas Sabonis, I guess, and transform the team.
He's unbelievable. It's very hard to win right now. It was only 2 games, but like it's very hard to win in Sacramento. Only the home teams have won so far. De'Aaron Fox's hand isn't great, even though he's playing most likely tonight. I'm pretty sure I saw that, but
he's playing with fracture. I think it's like the fingertip, right? Or is it the finger?
I don't know. It just said hand, fractured right hand, but
oh really? I thought I don't know. Maybe I didn't. I might be wrong.
Fingertip, but you could be right. But yeah, it's just like I think similarly. This is my prediction, obviously, because I would like to see the Warriors win, which I never thought I would hear myself say that in 1,000 years after just like the dynasty they've had since Kevin Durant. But
they're such a fun team to root for.
But just how the Suns lost game 1 and won 4 straight to win their series, I think similarly the Warriors are going to win the next 2 after going down 2-0 and just win 4 straight to close out the series.
I think this is the big one.
2 great games.
If they three really good games.
What's the third one? The Heat.
And the Heat. The Heat can close out tonight too.
3 great.
I think if the Warriors win tonight, they're like I don't see how they lose at home. Their home crowd, like even going back to when they were in the finals last year.
Warriors at home are just a different team. There's actually 4 games tonight. The Lakers play too.
Wow, the Lakers are playing too.
Yeah, surprisingly, the Lakers game is. I guess I don't know why, but like I would think maybe just because of East Coast, you'd put the Knicks on TNT.
Yeah, they'll be on MSG, so I'll still be able to watch.
Like the Warriors are playing at 10, so that makes sense. They're the second game on TNT, but I don't know. I feel like you would put the just because of like the meaning behind the games. All 3 of these games have a lot of meaning to them. The Knicks winning their first playoff series since 2013. The Lakers being a play-in team and then beating the second seed Grizzlies. I don't know if can
we talk about them for a minute?
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna win tonight in Memphis, but that's just been like, just crazy leadership. Sort of like it feels like a last dance type story, like with LeBron just
I agree
playing.
This is such karma.
Oh, you don't poke the bear.
This is Ja saying that no team in the West he was scared of. This is Dylan Brooks saying that until he gives him 40.
They're a scrappy team and they have the potential to be very good. They just need an extra playmaker alongside Ja. That's what I think they're missing because Jaren Jackson's unbelievable. They just need another.
Jackson is unbelievable.
And like Desmond Bane's a great shooter. Dylan Brooks just needs to shut his goddamn mouth and just know his role because he's a good defender, but he's not an elite player and he never will be. And the Grizzlies need another playmaker, elite scorer if they want to take their team to the next level. So
I think John needs to shut the hell up too.
That too, just with like the whole gun stuff and all his like off court shenanigans. Like
it just makes me so mad. Like
distracting.
That whole situation makes me so mad. Like, stop talking. You guys haven't won anything. You had a second round exit last year, and you were one of the best teams in the NBA. And like Ja, for how talented he is, and he is probably one of the most talented players, especially like, my God, can he get up? You don't have to jump that high every play. Of course you got hurt. Like, how stupid are you? You don't have to try to dunk on everyone every play, but that's the team that they are. They're so flashy and they try so hard to be this thing that they're not. Like that's where they're gonna lose.
I was thinking about that too. Like Ja's a very flashy player and he can get up and do some highlight reel dunks, but like that charge LeBron took, like good for him because he could have gotten like really hurt on that, but like so could have Ja. Like just jumping up that high and he kind of like did like a little helicopter spin and
that's so dangerous to get that high up. That's why he like hurt his hand.
Yeah.
And then he fell on it again.
Surprised LeBron didn't get hurt on that play because he took the charge and then Ja like landed on his head. but LeBron's
LeBron
built
is just,
different.
he's so built different.
Yeah, he's so
I've never been a big LeBron fan, but I can't deny a dude who just is a freaking tank, even now at like 38 or whatever he is, right? 38. Like,
yeah, something like that.
He's just so different. And Dylan Brooks is so stupid for saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
What an idiot. I just thought it was funny that Dylan Brooks, of all people, is the one who's talking. Like, dude, you're not good. You've never been good.
No, yeah, it's got to
like
know
you said, good
your
3-point good defender, but that's it.
Yeah, he's not. I wouldn't even call him a 3-and-D guy because he's just not good on the offensive end.
That's all he's ever been. And like, he's very good at it. Props are due. Like, the dude is a very good defender.
Yeah, but
you don't talk about LeBron like that, bro. Like, you're just not that guy. You are not that guy, pal.
Yeah. Similarly though, with like how I think the Cavs are going to win tonight in a very close, hard-fought game. I think the Bucks are just going to destroy the Heat tonight. They're at home. They're pissed that they blew a lead last game. I think they're going to take care of business tonight, but they're still going to be down 3-2. They're 12-point favorites tonight. They're still going to be down 3-2 heading back.
12-point favorites.
Yeah. So that's pretty. Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot of points.
Wow. But yeah, it's a lot for them to win tonight and then have to go back to Miami and win there, and then have
Miami's a tough place to win.
Yeah, and even if they are able to do that, then they have to win a third straight game with back in Milwaukee. So
yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, Miami. I mean, they made some. I don't know if you watched that game in its entirety, but like, they were hitting some like unbelievably clutch shots. Like Caleb Martin hitting it in Giannis's face.
Yeah,
was such a savage move. And then to like savage. They definitely won that game. Like, deserved to win that game. Won that game. But my God, Jimmy Butler flops all over the fucking place. Every time I watch him, I'm like, this dude saw James Harden, saw it working, and just every time throws his hands up. On that foul that he fouled, he got Chris Middleton to foul out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he got barely touched. Like, I hate Darius Garland for that exact reason.
Mm-hmm.
Darius Garland, I don't know if you're gonna watch the Knicks game. If you're watching NBA TV,
I can't because I don't have NBA TV.
Okay,
I guess I can stream it.
So you'll notice, like, every time he drives in the hoop, even if you watch the highlights of last game, there are times that he drives in the hoop and he like flops into like Mitchell Robinson, whose hands are up, and then it'll just like, hey, every single time. I just don't like Darius Garland. I think the Cavs need to stop talking so much to the media about this series. You ain't it.
You ain't it.
Everyone had the Knicks counted out. Not me. See you in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Let me ask you this.
Yes. Yes, my sweet.
Being unbiased, did you? And obviously, you're a big Knicks fan. But putting that aside, did you actually think that they were gonna have like this much success against the Cavs? Because not many people.
Not this much success.
Yeah.
But I thought they'd win. I thought, like, the Cavs are a very good team. Obviously, they always have been. We talked about it honestly with even like the moves that they made this offseason. They're a really good team, and they were. I think what just bugs me so much is like, Stephen A. Smith, for example, talks a lot about the Knicks, and he talked about how if we lose to Donovan Mitchell, that this season is a failure because we didn't trade for him. But no one is talking about how the Cavs traded for him and we're one seed ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
No one talks about that. So it's super aggravating that like these kind of narratives that are out there and are just not correct. Knicks are a gritty team. I thought they'd win. I thought it'd be in 7. Still might be. Who knows? I never imagined that they'd be up 3-1.
Yeah.
I didn't think that they'd steal game 1.
Yeah,
and then when they got blown out by 20, I was like, uh-oh.
They played really well in game 1, and the fact that Donovan Mitchell still put up almost a 40 piece and they lost, like, just goes to show he can't do it all. You can't, no matter how good you are. Like it's even shown with LeBron, for example. I forget what year it was, but remember the year where LeBron single-handedly took the Cavs to the finals again, and he beat Boston in 7, and then they got swept by the Warriors. But like, it just goes to show you could be the best player in the entire world, and you can't single-handedly, unless you're LeBron, but you can't single-handedly unless you can't single-handedly lead your team to a playoff series win. You just, it doesn't matter how good you are, you just can't do it. It's not how the sport works. It's built to be a team sport.
And that's actually, when I watched that game, the first game when Donovan Mitchell dropped like whatever it was, like 450 maybe. I think I never
38.
felt 38
in game 1.
Okay, well, I never felt more confident after that happened because I wasn't 100% sure we'd be able to contain Donovan Mitchell every game. Genuinely, I thought, oh well, he's probably going to score 50 a game. But if he scores 50 a game on like 30 shots, that's fine. No one else is scoring. Darius Garland is also a volume shooter. So he got really hot in game 2.
You're hot.
You're hot.
Whoa.
It's not that kind of show.
Do you think you could beat me in a 7-game series?
That could be our next episode.
Check rock.
So anyway, so Darius Garland got like hot in game 2, but then game 3, game 4, they both sucked, and then they have no offense. It never became more apparent how little their bench depth was until the series started, and then they also made really like. I actually think JB Bickerstaff is a pretty good head coach, but he made some huge errors. One being taking Garland and putting him back on Jalen Brunson. That is a big mistake. Jalen Brunson will cook him every single time, and Shetty Osman every single time. Karis LeVert was playing really good defense on him, and they just it was a mistake. But you make that one mistake, and the game is completely different.
Yeah, exactly.
So I still think that the win. I don't anticipate they'll win tonight, but I hope they do because it'll be hard to close it out. But I think personally that the Cavaliers showed up to this not ready.
Yeah, I agree. Well, best of luck tonight, Jay. I'm gonna just sit back, relax, and enjoy my next couple days with the Sixers until Monday comes. Thank you, Trae Young.
Stupid Trae. He ruins everything.
He does. I hate him.
I really hate Trae Young.
Thank him for what he did last night.
I hate him. He's so ugly. He looks like a Q-tip.
Looks like a lollipop that you dropped on the carpet. It's so funny though with Joel though, real quick before we sign off. Yes. It's just kind of crazy. Just like it's the same story every year. It's just like him dominating in the first round, but somehow manages to get hurt, and then we play a tough team in the second round, and him being hurt
also falls to the ground over and over and over again. A lot of the time, I don't know if you watched, but like objectively speaking about the Sixers, and I genuinely don't have any I don't have a hatred for the Sixers.
Watch what you say.
No, I say what I want. I don't have a hatred for the Sixers like I have a hatred for the Eagles. Like I don't really care. I don't really care like what the Sixers do, but I don't get how James Harden and Joel Embiid. Why was that different? How was Joel Embiid, which was definitely an obvious kick to the nuts, and James Harden, which was an elbow to the nuts, which I genuinely I kind of thought that was a basketball move myself. I don't get it. I don't either. I know they try to keep the stars in, but I don't understand what happened.
Yeah, I don't understand either. I think they both deserve technicals. If anything, I thought Embiid deserved more of a deserved to be kicked out of the game than Harden did.
That's what I thought too.
Harden was more of a push off, and he got him in the wrong area. But I think what it had to do with was the fact that what Embiid did was just like was so unnecessary. Like I get, you're in the heat of the moment, you lose your temper. If he made contact, I forget what player it was.
It was with
It was Nick
Claxton.
Claxton. Yeah.
Claxton.
If he caught him right in the goodies, I think he would have absolutely been kicked out of the game. But the fact that he missed, and Claxton like stepped over him, like did the Allen Iverson, that's what kind of like canceled it out. So they both got technicals. And I think Harden was just kind of like it was the wrong call, but maybe they thought they like were obligated to make it because of everything that like happened with Embiid. So that's like my thought process on it. But
I just thought
some of the officiating is just god awful though, and I get they can't be perfect, but like
I don't remember it being this bad.
I know,
like that it's been this year. This year's been really bad.
Hopefully we don't get fined. But yeah,
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
They've been terrible though.
The refs have been really bad. Like I still thought the Sixers would sweep. Like I mean, to be honest, that is always what made the most sense. Like they're such a better team. The Nets got so lucky that they were even in the playoffs after they traded Kyrie, Kevin.
Yeah.
Like they had no chance. But it's crazy to think is if they were never traded, how far? Like I think they probably could have gotten to the Eastern Conference Finals this year.
I mean, look at what happened.
They wouldn't have played the Sixers. They probably would have played who was third. No, you guys are third, right?
Yeah.
Third seed. Where were they when that trade was made?
They were much higher up. Yeah.
Maybe.
What were the Nets? What were the Nets? Where were they last year? The Nets it was 2 years ago, right?
Last year when they lost to the Bucks.
Was it? I thought that was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. When Kevin Durant's big ass foot was on the line.
Yeah, I think that was 2 years ago because that's when they had everybody. Where last year they didn't have Harden, so I'm curious where they ended up. Let's look up the playoff bracket.
I don't remember. That was a long time ago. I can't read.
I can't remember everything we said, but we said it all. Yeah, the Nets were the 7th seed. They got swept by Boston. I remember that because they didn't put up any type of fight against them last year.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
How far do you think Boston goes? I mean, it'll be a good series. Them against.
Assuming they close out the Hawks and play us, I think it'll be a very 6 or 7 game series. And assuming that they beat us, it's like who even knows who they play? Like it depends who they play. Like anything could happen.
I don't know.
Really, it's so open. Like I was saying before, I really have no idea. I think the West will either be the Warriors or the Suns.
You think the Warriors? I
think the Suns. I think the Suns are going to beat the Nuggets in 5. Actually, 6. Mm-hmm. I think the Suns are going to beat the Nuggets in 6, and I think the Warriors. And I think the Warriors are going to beat the Lakers in 5, assuming the Lakers close out the Grizzlies.
The Suns against the Nuggets. That'll be a good series. Well, let's just think out loud. So Ayton against Jokic is not great.
I mean, Jokic is going to dominate him, but
Jokic is going to kill him.
I don't know if you watched it all last night, but the Suns just look so good. Like Booker dropped 47. He dropped 47, and or you might have dropped 43, something like that, and KD dropped 31. With them healthy, they're just really hard to beat.
They're a great team.
Yeah.
Like they were that good of a team before too, but like there is no beating Kevin Durant, Booker, Ayton,
Chris Paul.
They have depth too. Like they still have, TJ Warren, I feel like is not a scrub.
Let me ask you one final question before I let you go. What do you make of the Kawhi Leonard situation?
Oh, I don't like the way that they're talking about him. I think it's so wrong.
Yeah, I think it's so wrong what Steven Smith's been saying, but at the same time, he kind of has a point with just like he's so talented, but when was the last time he played like a full season? It's
Raptors.
With the Raptors, I guess. Yeah, so it's been like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I mean his knees are clearly going, but like I thought it was so not cool for him to be like, you should retire. Like, are you fucking kidding me? This is a guy who dedicated his whole life to basketball. You're telling him to retire because he had a couple injuries?
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
That's pretty disrespectful. I mean, I don't know. That's a tough situation. It's also the Clippers are so weird about this shit. He obviously didn't tear his meniscus until the last day. Like he had to have torn it a while ago. And they knew about it and just didn't report.
Maybe, yeah.
Like that's kind of weird to me, personally. I don't know. I still think that like they have to run it back. Healthy, they're a really good team, but healthy is the problem. PG not being a part of the series, huge L.
Yeah.
Like that was what pretty much, in my opinion, put it in stone. Like you don't have PG, you don't have healthy Kawhi Leonard who averaged like 35 a game in the first two.
Yeah, would have been a very different story.
I just think that like what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I don't really know what you can do. I feel like you don't really have a choice. Like I guess you could, because I don't know who would trade for him. Like he's so good, but because of the injuries, I don't know how much they would really get for him.
What's his contract look like? I don't even know.
I don't know what their contracts look like because it's like same thing with Paul George. They're out of their prime. They're still very talented players, but they're just not the guys they once were. So it's almost like if I'm the Clippers, I'm trading both of them and just trying to see what I can get and build for the future.
I just think that they were like out of contention for so long, before they had Blake, DeAndre Jordan, CP3, and JJ Redick, Jamal Crawford, those guys, which was one of what do they call that? They called that something, right? When they had all those guys.
Lob City.
When they had Lob City,
I don't know if that was it.
No, that was it. You're right. Before Lob City, like they were pretty bad for a long time.
Yeah, they were. I was like Chris Kaman, Katiko Mobley.
What?
Never mind.